In the shadowy corridors of global finance, where money moves in currents of power and whispers, a series of banking conspiracy theories take root, casting long shadows over the institutions that hold the reins of the world's economies. These theories suggest a web of manipulation spun by a cabal of bankers and financiers who are purported to control global events from behind closed boardroom doors, influencing governments and economies to serve their covert agendas. From the Federal Reserve to the halls of the International Monetary Fund, allegations abound of secret meetings such as those in Jekyll Island, where the blueprint for modern central banking was allegedly conceived in utmost secrecy. Critics argue these gatherings are not just for policy planning, but are part of a larger scheme to orchestrate financial crises, manipulate currencies, and consolidate economic control under an elite few. This case file, join the theorists as we dive into the deep coffers of secrecy and suspicion, auditing the intricate ledger of theories that account for big banking.
Welcome to Alien Theorists Theorizing Case File 328, the Biggie Banks. I'm Braden.
I'm Zell.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Andrew.
I finally got the number right.
Sit back and behold all our amazing financial advice and knowledge.
Listen.
This is like top 5 of
no one
depressing
take
things
this
we've ever talked about.
And honestly,
this is not financial advice. Please, nobody fall in.
This is
advice that we give out.
The reason we're so late is because just even mentioning big banks turned into a 15-minute rant about how expensive watermelon and cheese are, and we all just screaming at each other. It's absolutely there. Honestly, what did you guys? What was the American Revolution about with 2% T tax or something?
Well, there were other things. Yeah,
I think it was just that.
Terrorists are a big thing. Yeah.
It's time.
Get those guns.
Are you saying it's a North American Revolution this time?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Zell sent a picture of $22 cheese, and I was like,
"That's it, dude."
Someone has to die.
You know what? That picture of the cheese is just like what's that picture of the Chinese guy in the square with the tank? It's kind of like one of those.
In the square. Fuck's sake.
It's the start of a revolution. Just me with a $23 tiny brick of cheese,
buddy, and get yourself a cheese grater and just start grating.
Yeah,
the whole
cause
body.
a stir.
Yeah.
I thought you guys had like a dairy cartel, didn't you guys have like a dairy cartel?
And they're in cahoots with Big Bank.
Yeah.
Bankrupt you.
Well, we're gonna be talking about cartels today.
Man.
The whole financial system is set up to be extremely complicated, and if you don't know how it works, you just get fucking screwed. And then you have people leading countries who have the worst, who just spend fake money and just plunge you into inflationary debt. The hidden tax of inflation. All of a sudden, your money is now worth 99% less than it was 100 years ago.
And is that unique just because we moved away from gold backing? Is that like just to the fiat currency? Is that like a unique thing? Is like because we don't have that now, this is the issue of like. Well, so pretty much is that why we're paying $22 cheese, Zell? Dude, is that what's happening here?
So let's just start. Okay, we get off the track here. Crazy. So we can get fucking insane.
We already started insane.
We started insane.
Talking $22 bricks of cheese.
We thought it was going to be a slow ramp up. But we
went full out. They're going to go digital currency.
You should have heard Dan.
Listen,
you should have heard Dan in the pre-show. He's like, forget Taiwan. Listen, we're going to nuke your country. Something like that. I don't know.
This is what they're doing. They're purposely, they're just printing money, and they're dishing it out to all their homies around the world. They're buying assets. They're buying gold. They're buying all this stuff, fake money. They're going to crash the dollar. So when they start a new system, they have all the assets and they all have all the wealth still.
JFK warned us.
Man. Then
he tried it. What was it? Silverbacks?
The silverback currency?
Yeah.
Supposedly.
What happened to him? He died.
That's kind of
Gone.
a crazy, like honestly, like that aspect of this, because looking into the Federal Reserve and how it gets started, I mean, dude, it literally like Boho Grove-esque. They're like, hey, listen, just all the most powerful bankers, we're just going on a little elk hunt.
Duck hunt.
No, it was an elk hunt in duck country. No big deal.
Even more suspicious.
Oh man.
And like people knew that all these people were mean. They're like, hey, what's going on? They're like, nothing. We're hunting.
Why are all
And
these
they're
rich
like,
people dressed like Elmer Fudd? None of this makes fucking sense. Like this guy doesn't even know how to hold a fucking gun.
Yeah, all these fucking big like big banking tycoons met on Jekyll Island and came up with the Federal Reserve.
Well, so
And they're like,
Okay, listen, you gotta do a better job of that.
That was pretty weak.
Tell us
That's pretty
Jesus
weak.
Christ.
So pretty much, obviously this is more of a ranting episode than an extremely factual episode. But pretty much for all of human history, there's been different types of money, usually precious metal, gold and silver, salt,
Because it's
salt
worth
sometimes.
something.
Yeah, it's worth something.
It's something. It's valuable.
Salt?
Salt was a huge thing for
Oh
Big
my
commodity
God, dude.
for a while.
I would be rich, man. The amount of salt water that's coming off my body at all
Well, it
times.
would be worth nothing now. Like, I mean, it was difficult to, transport and
Right?
produce.
So-
If only you could turn your
It
blood
made
pressure
sense
into
at the time.
currency, eh, buddy?
But pretty much money.
You guys take cholesterol?
So here it is. So yeah, for all of human history, there's been some type of money. So gold and silver and different types of precious metals. It's got to be durable and portable, divisible. Has to have uniformity and limited supply, and finally has to be widely accepted. And if you have all those things, you can pretty much use anything as money, becoming currency, like to exchange goods and services, blah, blah, blah. So we've had all that in the past, different types, different empires have different things, and wars end them. Usually the big war happens when they deplete their finances, and then like that's the last war of that nation, pretty much. The end of the empire is usually over some type of money, debt, blah, blah, blah. So we've had that. And then there's a different type of money which came around, I'm not sure I think Chinese were the first people to use paper money. So it's kind of like an honorary note. Like this piece of paper is worth this much gold.
Wait, you're
this
saying
much.
paper money is Chinese? How un-American is that?
Hey, they own everything and they created money. All right. Rockets, gunpowder. What else? So what? America's what? 250 years old. China's 4,000.
Yeah, that's a good.
Something like that. So if they
So
survive,
they created fake money, is what you're saying.
they were the first
IOUs.
It was an IOU, right? It was paper, an IOU. Like here's
Our promissory note.
yeah, promissory note. Like here, instead of because coins
It's a
and
fancy
metals,
word for IOU.
yeah,
Yeah.
all that shit's heavy. You got to carry it around in a purse. You get robbed, whatever.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah,
All the time.
Satchels are heavy.
Yeah.
And then it came to the point. So those notes were backed by some type of metal or a store of value. And then along came, like Bank of England and stuff, the last central bank, meaning they would just make currency and print paper money without really having a backing, or it was like limited reserve backing. And eventually you start printing so much money that it just devalues. Like if you have $1 million and you print another $10 million, but nothing really else happens, everything's just worth that much less. And wars are fought and won and lost, and new currencies and new banks and rise and fall, yada, 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 on and on and on. You see it even like post-World War, some of the countries like print so much money, like pay for the post-war efforts and stuff. Or people are like just dumping barrels of cash on the ground to buy a loaf of bread.
Well,
Unless you're
hyperinflation for World War I Germany.
Yeah.
Well, unless you're the United States of America post World War I, who literally rose to an economic superpower following that war.
I mean, after World War I,
Yes.
didn't we have the Great Depression? Like,
Yeah, prior.
after-
So basically, everything that I read is saying. So what they did is they lent out tons of money because their stock markets and everything were thriving during the beginning of the war. So they lent out a bunch of money
So,
to
like, we're
the
making bank.
Europeans because we're fucking doing fine. We're thriving.
Yeah.
Right. And so they had to pay all that shit back, and the reserve was never fucking fuller with money, and it basically turned them into a superpower. And then, yes, you're right. The Great Depression did come, and the stock market crashed. But I wonder who's pulling the strings behind that. The same people whose fucking reserves were piled with fucking cash.
All right. So brief history. United States comes around, the new superpower. They create the Federal Reserve, which is the central bank. And they do it. Mr. Griffin wrote the book, The Creature from Jekyll Island. And a lot of people criticize his work and call him a conspiracy nut and blah, blah, blah. And I'm sure he's got
parts of it, but there's tons of factual shit, right?
Yeah, but like, it's really what happened is, it was like December 23rd, 1913 or something. They met and passed the Federal Reserve Act, pretty much granting the central bank the ability to create money for the nation. And I listened to a couple just quick little economists talking about central banking, and yes, it's given rise to the modern world in a way, the ability to stabilize economies and yada yada, all that good stuff. But at the time, it was still backed. Those notes were still backed by. It wasn't fiat. It was still backed for the most part by gold.
But I think you got to kind of also paint how this wasn't just so we had the group of basically the guys that met at Jekyll Island. That was 1/4 of the world's most wealthy people. That's the most, that's 1/4 of the world's fucking money right there. And they're meeting in complete secrecy. Why? Because whatever they put forward is going to get voted down by the people. So they have to do it behind everybody's fucking backs to make it seem like they're not putting it forward.
During the holidays, yeah.
Right? And then they also, members that were I can't remember the one guy's name, I'll look it up, came out against this fucking bill because he knew if he came out against it, it would fucking make it more credible, even though he helped put it forward. Right? This was some greasy fucking shit. The whole point of this bill was to take the power away from the fucking New York banks and make it look like we're taking the fucking money away from the superpowers and giving it to someone else to manage, which was it was a complete fucking lie.
It was Nelson Aldrich, A. Piet Andrew, Henry Davidson, Arthur Shelton, Frank Vanderlip, and Paul Warburg. Those are the six.
And
6 men.
And it was arranged by J.P. Morgan.
And he was Mr. Monopoly.
Yeah, he wasn't
himself.
there, but
he was literally...
He was there. So they create the central bank. So all the richest people create the bank to create the money. Rich people, they got... for all of human history, people with all the money pull the strings.
Yeah, there's Vanderlip is quoted saying, if it were to be exposed publicly that the bill would have no chance whatsoever of passing in Congress, the bill was written to break the grip of the money trust, but the bill was literally written by the money trust.
Genius.
It's fucking crazy.
Well, and it's you have a centralized group of people that are controlling the currency, can control these, printing of money that don't have to answer to the government. And the thing that has always baffled me is and when they write a note to the government then owes them interest. I'm but wait, what? To whom? Yourself? You're making it up.
Well, it feels like a scam because you have all these people who are all the members, all those guys you named were all fucking, they're either parts of these, banks, central banks, or they were all competitors, right? And then all of a sudden you have all these group of competitors that are working against each other forever, get together in one room and decide to work together. And what the fuck is that? That's a cartel.
It's a monopoly, a cartel. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fucking cartel. And it's wild that I don't know. It just blows my fucking mind. They literally got rid of all competition for themselves.
It's pretty much, yeah. They all got together and they said, we're going to create one central bank to hold the reserves of all the banks. And then that bank is going to dictate economic policy, but in the best interests of all the people who signed aboard.
Then we're going to slowly get rid of all the fucking little banks that aren't going to be a part of our fucking bank system.
And then they're going to set up it was 15 branches of the reserve across the country, and each jurisdiction has its own board of directors, but they're all in cahoots. It's all a fucking top down money scheme.
Well, and it's crazy because then you look at the Great Depression and the stock market collapse and stuff. And it's the Federal Reserve was wealthy enough to support the U.S. through that. They chose not to.
They chose to buy the dip.
They bought the dip, and I don't know how many other banks, those small private banks that went out of business during that, right? And they became richer because of it. It's disaster capitalism.
one of the, like, I read that, like, that's like, I mean, it is a conspiracy theory, but I'm
No, you've got that Ben Bernanke guy apologizing for it.
yeah. And I
don't know how is that a conspiracy theory?
It's labeled as a conspiracy theory, but there's firm belief that the Federal Reserve just basically like let the depression happen because they're like,
or created it.
Yeah, they're like, let's just sit on our hands on this one for a little bit and, reap the spoils.
So if you think, like, there's a lot of people that think that the stock market crashing, right, led to, what was it, 1929 that it crashed, that led to the Great Depression, right? The stock market had crashed how many fucking times before the Great Depression? The one in 1929. I get like probably at least 5 times. And then it wasn't until the fucking Federal Reserve was created. That was the first stock market crash when the Federal Reserve had been around. And what happens? The Great Depression.
And it's weird. I've always kind of wondered when I'm looking at case files like this that we're talking about and stuff where I'm like, we've seen in like recent times during COVID, we saw the greatest transfer of wealth from the middle class to the upper class. And what was it capitalism. Like? What was that like in the Great Depression? Was that the same thing? It was a trickle up thing where it was like, oh, this was terrible for everyone, but really it was phenomenal time to be,
a banker.
A banker.
Well, that's associated with the Federal Reserve though, because there was a lot of banks that went out of business that didn't get bailed out. All right, Dan, you're getting real true crime on me. I need you to speak. I just see your face making faces.
No, it's just like
Dan's got shares in the fucking Federal Reserve, I think.
Yeah, Dan.
I am the right Federal Reserve.
Make me a promise right now. I want to buy some $22 cheese.
Don't fucking bring up the cheese. Canada's falling apart.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit over here and just eat a bag of shredded cheese. Like, what are you guys talking?
This cost me $3.
Let me put on my monocle and top hat while I eat fucking shredded cheese.
That's how you should have dressed for this episode. Yeah, that's how you should have dressed for this episode. And got just like
peasants.
As you sipping wine and eating fine cheeses. Yeah, it's wild though, because like it does seem like when you start to look at that, it was a group of people who, for whatever reason, obviously for monetary gain, created a cartel-like entity.
Why else create a cartel? That's what they do for financial gain.
Like, and then we've talked about JFK before, and I know we've touched on it, but like he was like pretty anti Federal Reserve, and so much so that he issued the silverback currency.
I don't think it's called silverback. I think I fucked that up. It's like the silver. It was a silver.
It's backed by silver.
It just didn't. It didn't say Federal Reserve note on the bill.
Yeah, and he issued those, and he's like, "Hey, we got to break this system." He gets assassinated, and then one of the first things was it Lyndon B. Johnson, Dan, that took over for JFK. Yeah. One of the first things he did was he's like, LBJ. Recall all the silverback notes
instantly.
Literally no reason. There's never been an issued reason.
When was it that Germany devalued silver? Like, when was that?
Well, who knows?
Because that's what drove down, like, at one point, like that drove like a huge economic downturn at some point, is when Germany basically said we're just not going to value silver anymore. And then, which is interesting, which is like an example for
1873.
Yeah, but it's like that's an example you can look back at that and being like, okay, like, like if you can just like if you back something by like a finite currency or something, another country can just decide to be like, well, you know what, we're not going to value that anymore, and then. It's like,
I mean, couldn't that be done with anything though? Like realistically, like if
we're not going to value your paper fucking money, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, like someone's like
anything. It's not backed by anything.
But it's backed by like GDP. So it's like trade. So it's like now with everything that's interconnected.
I'd rather trade for something that has some value than a fucking.
Yeah, but it's like because everything's like interconnected. So it's like if you're kind of like break trade with a country, that when now everything is kind of like linked. Kind of makes sense. It's interesting that it was
Germany that did that too, because like they've been, well, I guess I don't want to say they, but like the party that took over a few years later were very staunchly against central banking.
It's because they were the bank, they were the state and all business and everything.
Is that a party you're a fan of?
What party was that?
Why would I be a fan of a party that I couldn't even be a member of? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
So pretty much, central, and that's not just, we're talking about the Federal Reserve is the most famous and well known, but pretty much every Western country, pretty much every country, I think, has a central bank now. That system was like copy and pasted. Pretty much every country took it. And like the positives, obviously it works. Like look at the world. Like for the most part, it was working well.
Yeah.
But where it started going south,
it's being put to the test right now.
No, so where it started going south is where they turned it into full fiat, right? So they took it off the gold, silver, around the world. Everyone kind of dropped it, and then it went to fiat currency, meaning it's not really money now. There's no backing. It's just we can print this, and we say this is the only legal tender of this country. That's all. It's actually illegal, pretty much, to trade any other form of money. You can't like make your own currency in a country and trade it. It's illegal.
Well, yeah, that's because they watched Goldfinger and they're like, oh, somebody could just sneak into Fort Knox and irradiate all the gold and then just crash the entire economic system. That'd probably be a bad idea.
So I know in Canada,
I love to think that there's someone watched that movie and they're like, oh shit, right?
Fuck. Right.
Give me the president. We need a contingency plan.
So I know pretty much in Canada, I'm sure it's probably about the same in the States, probably happened around the same time. So Nixon gets in, he takes it back off that silver backing straight to fiat. And in Canada, Trudeau Senior. So we have a Trudeau, his daddy, quite a bit
Fidel
older
Castro.
than him. He did the same thing in Canada. Took us off the backing, and we went to fiat. And then he pretty much signed the order to allow private banks to issue loans with a fractal reserve. Meaning, if I put $10,000 in the bank for the bank to store, the bank then can go loan out a percentage of that, and every country has different rules. But let's say the reserve is 10%. So the bank takes, if I put $10,000 in, they put $1,000 aside where they don't touch it. They store that. They loan out $9,000 of your money for interest to someone else. So someone takes a $9,000 loan. They do something, they buy something, it gets back to the bank. Now the bank has that money again. They loan out a fraction of that and that. So pretty much from $10,000, you get to $100,000 of money created with no backing. And there's no limit.
Crazy.
So like, yeah, there's regulations and regulators, and every country has like fail safes and stuff in place so inflation doesn't go rampant. Supposed to. But as that system
feels like that's happening,
dude, as that system has progressed, like, okay, so you started with, you had, 50 billion debt, and a little bit of debt keeps like that in check. Like there's something to pay it back against. It kind of keeps it in check. But then they realized, we can just lower interest rates at the central bank to low interest, 3, 4, 5%, because it used to be like 10, 15, 20%. So they lower the interest, make money cheaper, and then the banks get richer and richer because they start lending out more and more and more and more money. And for 50 years that happened. So now countries like Canada's like $2 trillion, the States is like $50 trillion in debt. Like numbers that are so staggering. You're like,
I didn't even know they existed. The fuck is $1 trillion?
Well, there's more debt in the world than there is money that's been spent. That's what it feels like. It's like, how much?
It's crazy.
What do you mean? Just how many trillions? We just lost. Like after 9/11, that was the thing. Like, there was a $2.3 trillion accounting error, and then the Pentagon blew up in the accounting office. They're like, whoops, forget about that one. And then during COVID, they're like, we had to spend $20 trillion to get us through the stuff that we said to do. And you're like, all right. And they're like, now there's some wars. So we're going to give 150, 250, $500 billion in packages around the world. They give away so much money that if you spent that in your country, like rebuilding your infrastructure, it would actually do something. But that's why when you go conspiracy route, it's almost like every country is a member of the World Economic Forum who follows these financial policies are all bankrupting their nations. Every single one of them, to the point where like they're doing it on purpose, and they're just going to start a new system. Like that debt, gone. Here's a new system. And your assets, if you didn't have your money in assets, you had it in pension accounts or in the stock market, it's gone, dude.
Oh, it's scary.
Gone.
The crazy thing to that is I'm like, what's to stop like the states from just being like, we kind of talked about pre-show, just be like, not paying anything. We're debt free, actually. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're debt free.
We're dropping the dollar. Here's our new currency. What are you going to do about it? We have the biggest fucking army in the world.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
New money, who dis?
Yeah. We got new freedom buck. One freedom buck's worth
democracy.
Yeah, and that's worth $1 trillion. One freedom buck.
That's probably an improvement from the Canadian to American currency already, though. That's good.
It's going to be a one world government, one world currency. That's what, if all the countries are together on it and they're all bankrupting their nations at the same time, there must be a common goal if they're all following the same policy.
So who's not playing along?
I would imagine
Russia?
There's probably a few countries who are not playing along, and they're the bad guys, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, and they're bad guys for more than just that reason alone, probably, but that's a big reason. They're getting off because we kind of have the American dollar tied loosely to the price of oil, right? The petrodollar. But it's not, you can't like trade a dollar and get oil. It's not like actually that, but that's like based on the price of oil. And now there's like, was it OPEC, right? Which is a different
maybe
like oil.
El Salvador. El
Salvador and all the Middle Eastern countries.
Yeah, because El Salvador is like Bitcoin's our official currency.
Oh no, sorry, El Salvador. Yes, in Venezuela.
Well, do they use
So they'd be
Bitcoin
a
as a
little
currency
enemy.
or is it Bitcoin as a store of value, like a backed by Bitcoin?
It's the official currency of
Because
the country.
the problem with Bitcoin is it's not easy to trade. You can't just, right?
It's also
Okay,
extremely
trade it.
volatile.
Yeah.
I'll trade it right now.
Yeah, but it's going to take 10 minutes. I'm going to sit there for 10 minutes as I try and buy a fucking pack
gonna
of
take
bananas.
$23
15
cheese. Yeah.
minutes.
There you go. 15 minutes.
minutes.
Sorry, sir. Can you just stay in the store for a second as we verify the blockchain? But like, you could technically use Bitcoin as a store of value, and like the dollar is backed by Bitcoin or whatever. Like, and that's the scarce backing. Like that's
Scarcity,
the gold, the digital gold, as some people call it.
Well, I mean, it feels like we've got to do something because, I mean, if Sal's paying $22, $23 for cheese, we're at a boiling point here.
Dude, people should be pissed, really. Like, this is all, no one voted for any, it just like, sorry, your dollar is now worth honestly, I went back and looked at my MasterCard from 2021. Just Costco. I was like, I was going to add up Costco. It came to like $5,200. All of 2020 and 21. This year, I'm at like $6,000 and it's only August. And I'm not really maybe I'm spending a little bit more on fruit for Nova, but like not enough to make up doubling.
Other kid eats for free.
Dude, it's just insane. Yeah. And then like, so if you haven't.
But you got the craziest collection of Costco diesel jeans I've ever seen.
Diesel? Kirkland only, buddy.
Kirkland, he's dripping in Kirkland.
Dude, that's just what I mean though. Like if you haven't made 40% more money in the last 4 years, you're worse off than you were. Everyone.
Yeah.
And it's not going the right direction.
Well, I wonder if it's one of those things where it's like at the time of the adoption of this Federal Reserve, the people adopting it were like, it was one of those things of like, right now, this is going to make us a lot of money. This can work. And based on how things are in the world right now. But what they didn't expect was, 60 years later and be like, oh, you're still doing that? Oh no. This was a terrible idea. Like the cascade, it feels like we're in some sort of cascade of like debt effect of just like this runaway inflation. Now, like
it's like still the same people making money though.
It's like, how the fuck do you get out of it? Right? Like, how do you turn this around in this current system?
Right. Well, all they had to do was look back at history. So I went and looked at like failed fiat currencies, and the list is long. But like the top 10 is like, as I was saying, like, so China had these things called the imperial Chinese paper money. That's obviously the Western word for it, but it's the same thing. Like here's we're going to trade this. It's not really worth anything. So that was like 2,000 fucking years ago. And then in France, they called it John Law's paper money disaster. So in like the 1700s.
And that didn't work out?
Right?
No way.
They convinced the king that paper money was the way to get the French government out of debt. We'll make money that has no value. We'll make more money than we're in debt, and we'll just pay our way out of it. Obviously, no, it didn't work. Fail.
Yeah, that's not how it works.
Right?
It's like you had a bunch of idiots like running economic policy.
Right. It's pretty much what happened like for the French Revolution too. Like the fiat currency ran rampant. Inflation went to 99%, and fucking people fucking freaked out and lost their shit, killed each other over it.
France needs to stop.
Right? Hyperinflation in Weimar Germany. So pretty much they were printing bills for legit that were $1 billion worth $1 billion. One piece of paper was worth $1 billion. That's how out of control it got. Republic of China again in 1936, same thing. They removed the gold standard. Boom, dead. Like post-Soviet Russia, same thing. Like people try and create this wealth to get out of debt, but in that, sure, it works in the short term, maybe the first year, couple years. There's a famous quote like inflation's like alcoholism. It's great in the short term, but terrible long-term effects. Like getting drunk, you go for a bender weekend, have a really good time. You don't really turn that off for a few years, and next thing you know, you kind of fucking run yourself into the ground. That's what this does to economies, and it's happened so many times. Zimbabwe in the 1990s, Venezuela just recently, right? Just happened. People are just dumping fucking wheelbarrows full of money trying to buy shit because the government's like, let's print it all. Out of control financial policy. And it was working for 50 years in North America, Western world. For the most part, people could retire. You could buy a house with one income. There's all this stuff you could do, living a great life, working hard. Obviously, it doesn't just come for free. But now you have to have both parents working full time just to buy an average house, most places. It's just like, it's terrible. Like, it's fucking brutal, man. And it's all because the inflation. It's all because the money is worth pretty much nothing. Like 99%. We're at the 99% what it was 100 years ago. Right? And if I would have bought a chunk of gold, if I would have had a chunk of gold worth the price of a house, let's say, so I had enough gold to buy a house in like 1910, and I had that same amount of gold today, that gold could buy me a house today. Because we always use gold as like a rare, that's like the backing that had value.
So what you're telling me is that everyone should be investing all their life savings into gold.
Everyone should send all your
somewhere.
Yeah.
And the only way to find it is a series of treasure maps.
100%.
So in case you die, you're sending your family on some sort of adventure.
A Goonies-like adventure.
You know what's funny about that is my grandpa did that. He legit, he was not a wealthy guy by any means, but he had like enough money when he retired. He bought gold, like little gold fucking bars, and he buried it in his backyard. And when the will came out, there was a fucking map in his backyard.
Really?
That's so sick.
Dude, but his backyard is like 20 by 20. It's like a time. And it wasn't done in measurements. It was done in paces. So it was like 6 paces from the garage, 3 paces from the tree.
My grandpa's so
it had a little X, and then my auntie and uncle, they went and dug it up. I think it was like $20,000 worth of gold. Like it was not a ton of gold.
That's a substantial amount of money to bury in your backyard.
That's awesome.
Well, it's actually not a lot of gold.
Some money in my
gold's,
backyard.
Gold's like what, $2,000 an ounce, so it's really not a lot of gold. Like it's like a little fucking brick of gold. But he had it in little coins. They're like 1 ounce coins.
That's cool.
He had a little treasure chest.
It wasn't. I actually never seen what it was buried in, but I imagine it wasn't shaped. It wasn't like a pirate chest. I wouldn't put it past him though. I wouldn't put it past him.
Well, we can imagine it was.
I've just decided I'm getting a pirate chest, and I'm going to invest a little bit in gold.
You know what? And then
Roman's going on a hunt one day.
Yeah,
and get a chest that's way like obnoxiously big for how much what you're going to put in it.
Yeah.
So when you finally get to it and you put it really, really deep, and you spend like 3 days trying to get it open, and there's just like a little piece.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
This is worth 30 grand. In your future money.
Let's take a quick beer break. We'll come back and rant about money some more.
And cheese.
We'll be right back.
All right, theorists, listen up. This week's sponsor of Alien Theorist Theorizing is our best sponsor, maybe of all time, mood.com. If you've been listening to the show for a while, you know I'm a huge weed person. I love flour. I love gummies and edibles. I love the drinks. I love the chocolates. I love it all. I love popping a couple, theorizing with the boys, having a good time. That's why I'm here again telling you about mood.com. It's changing the way people can buy weed. You know, most dispensaries make you choose between strains with kind of ridiculous names and you have no idea which one is for you. which one makes you giggly, which one makes you sleepy, which is best for you when you're having a night out. And you're standing there at the fucking counter and being like, all right, just give me something. I don't care. That's where mood.com has it figured out. And you can get 20% off your first order with promo code ALIEN. So keep that handy because this is going to blow your damn mind. It's now 100% federally legal in the USA to have really great bud shipped right to your door. It's third-party lab tested and ships to your door in a discreet little box. Best of all, everything's backed by Mood's 100-day satisfaction guarantee. Like I said, get 20% off with code ALIEN at checkout. Check the show notes of the podcast. Put in your promo code ALIEN. Do it now. Mood.com. All right, back to the show.
We're back.
So is it just like cheddar cheese, or is it like all cheeses?
Dude, I don't know.
It's all the cheese.
Listen, I don't know.
Was it that specific branded cheese? Cracker? Oh, is it? You showed
No,
you sent the
dude.
picture in the chat. It was like,
So-
was it like Cracker Barrel
Listen.
cheese?
Yeah, Cracker Barrel. No,
It's
it
the white man's cheese.
Yeah.
cheese?
Don't you have like generic cheese? Was it all cheese?
Obviously, I did not buy that cheese.
Well, of course.
But I've bought that cheese not that long ago, and it was not.
I've never bought
$23.
Cracker Barrel cheese. Like I can't even. I've never bought Cracker Barrel cheese.
Zell, like in the group, he was like, "This is bullshit. I can't fucking take this. I'm about to snap. I'm about to throw some
He's going
Costco."
Michael Douglas
He's like-
fucking falling down.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, I'm about to
out of the car with baseball
hit some
bat.
people with some Costco carts here.
That's how I felt.
I'll start whipping carts around, dual wielding
He's like,
carts.
This is unbelievable. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. Then I went to the grocery store.
What did
And
you
I don't
find?
know.
You whipped carts.
What did I find?
Yeah,
You
I
whipped carts.
bought like 6 things. Honestly, 6 things. I bought some dishwasher detergent. That was the big ticket item. I bought the next big ticket item outside of the dish detergent would have been. I'm trying to think of what I could think is.
Irrelevant.
Anyways,
Tell us how much you
Mushroom
spent.
soup.
$95.
Yeah.
And I was just
Ramen
like,
and mushroom
I was
soup.
like, wow,
Dude,
how?
it's
You can't-
out of control.
How?
Grabbing a few things is $100.
Nothing's not $100.
Literally.
So
Yeah,
how?
it's
Like,
nuts.
but like, how is this? How is this inflation and not price gouging?
It's
What's the
probably honestly.
Ooh, it's
there
a bit,
was
it's a mix of both.
There's a big mix of both because there was like all the like CEOs of all the grocery companies in Canada were called to Parliament
Yeah,
to explain themselves, and they actually had to come up with like a fair grocer act or something, whatever it's called.
Yeah, because we did that in the States. Like we called in people, we caught them.
But they are honestly
with
blaming
eggs
it
and stuff,
on.
like-
So I've heard both sides of the argument now, and yeah, there is definitely some cooperative price gouging. There's no doubt about it. It's business,
Sure.
right?
Grocery cartels.
Grocery cartel. But there also is
Big grocery.
inflation starts it, and what happens when inflation starts is then everyone thinks they got to up their price, right? So inflation goes up a couple percent, like, oh, I got to up my price a little bit, and then on and on and on. If everyone ups their price that little bit, all of a sudden it's up 40% in 5 years. Like that's kind of it's groceries are the worst, like the most that you feel.
Well, it's like everything gets passed on
You
to the
feel
consumer because it's like we all get boned because they keep trying to. They
all
keep
get
rising they raise the prices to whatever the market can absorb. Like they're like, or what they feel it can.
Right, but
And it's
the
like-
worst part of it is the blame is never taken at the top. You know, they're like,
You know what,
listen,
though?
we
You know
had
what, though?
we had to
Like,
do these
listen.
policies.
Hey, listen,
Sorry.
you know what though? You know what they did do for us this summer?
Give you $5.
And I really
rebate.
appreciate it. 2 things. Big Oil was like, hey, let's absolutely crush electric. We'll keep gas prices like kind of okay. And then Big
That was a
Banana,
lie.
and
That
then
was a lie.
and then Big Banana was like 69-cent bananas all summer long, baby.
Hell yeah.
Oh, and I've appreciated that. So
Gas
thank you to
freezer
Big,
full of bananas.
Big
Listen,
Banana.
Gas has not gotten better at all.
Better. What are you talking about?
What gas is cheaper here than it's
How much is
Banana
gas?
Gas has gone cheaper.
How much is your gas?
$1.67.
Dude,
Yeah, we're paying $1.86
do you know what gas
right now.
wasn't before the pandemic? It was $1.15. That's what
I
I
don't
mean.
remember that.
40%.
I don't remember these times.
Wasn't it pretty cheap during the pandemic too? 'Cause,
Well,
like,
no,
the
yeah,
bills
there
going
was
everywhere.
there was like 3 months where no one was driving. That gas was like $1 a liter
Yeah.
because there was just no one was fucking ghost.
Well, and that's
times.
like, and like,
I
and like
got a
again,
hot tub. I got the hot tub in the back of a pickup. I went to the gas station and I filled that motherfucker to the brim. I drove down the road.
hot gas stuff. The thing I've always loved about gas prices is like, you're not paying gas prices what it costs now. You're paying the forecasted price.
The hedge price, yeah.
for next year. And you're like, what? And then the pandemic hit, and they're like, please somebody buy some gas. And you're like, you didn't forecast this, asshole?
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
But I mean, that's just, we're living in the end of this financial era. There's every economist, everywhere you look, everyone's talking about like this is the end of this financial empire. And what comes next, who knows? But I can't remember the guy's name, the head of the Central Bank of Canada. He pretty much looked at Canadians in the eye through the TV and said, there's going to be pain. Yeah. And you're like, yeah, I know. It's happening right now, you motherfucker.
So what are you saying? It's going to get worse?
Yes, 100%.
Jesus.
Dude, I've watched all these economists are talking about what happened in 2008 with like the bad mortgage crisis and all that and where it led. And now they look at the charts now because what they did after, pretty much the economy after 08 has been on life support where they do a quantitative easing where they inject hundreds of billions of dollars into the economy to keep it going.
They've been pushing the problem down the road. That's what they've been doing.
That's what I was saying is the problem comes later, and they've been doing quantitative easing. I don't know what quantitative easing number they're on now, like fucking 40, where they just inject money, they just give it out. For whatever reason that is, cheap interest, cheap loans, cheap bonds, all this stuff to keep the economy afloat. And it just gets worse and worse. So eventually, like we're on the top of the hockey stick curve where it kind of like slowly go look at the national debt of like any Western world over 20 years. It's like insane. 10x, 20x, dude. And everyone's like, well, we can only spend so much. The debt ceiling's only so high per capita, per person. But every year, in order to not have a government shutdown, they go, well, we're going to increase it by $400 billion. And more. And like, I don't know how anyone just looks at that and go, this is probably going to end really well. You know?
Yeah. This is the way out. Like, just keep on keeping on.
I haven't not heard one person on any podcast and any interview on anything be like, you know what? Things are going to be good and this is why. They always go, in order for things to get better, we have to do X, Y, and Z, and it's going to get really bad for a while. Like some type of another depression, major economic downturn where a huge price correction of housing and everything happens.
That's the thing though, is what I think is right now in this moment, I think we're in the next Great Depression, but no one wants to say that. And it's like years later, we're going to be like, you know, we might be 2 years or 3 years into the Great Depression right now. And everyone's just been like, ha, 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 ha. And then like 30 years from now, they're going to be like,
couple, at least in the US, we've had a couple recessions.
Yeah, they're going to be like, oh man,
this is going to be worse.
Yeah.
They're like, when
the housing bubble crashed, like that one was pretty bad. Like,
yeah, but
look at the value of houses in relation to income when the housing crashed, and look at them now. It's like 4x as bad.
Yeah, but then it's like also it's like now that housing has become more of like speculation market where it's like, you know, companies and whatever, like that's part of it. That's why it's driving up these prices to be like, they're now treated as commodities, like in investments, than they are treated as housing, which is
that's just going to make it worse though. that's what I'm saying.
It's like, so I'm like,
so if you have a nation who can't afford to live in the houses.
I think we tried to pass.
Dude, this will lead to another podcast about the big three financial asset managers who own everything and they all own each other. Vanguard, State Street, and BlackRock.
Don't they like manage like most of the 401ks?
They manage like pretty much the whole. I don't know,
there's always I always felt like that was weird tying the 401k to the economy. Like being like you have to tie your entire retirement to something that is it used to be. I guess that was the reasoning before, is because it's like, you know, if you tie it to the economy, people are going to be more invested in like stocks and stuff. But now that we treat stocks more like, you know, you buy the dip, you sell it, you sell high. It used to be at some point before.
It's gambling now.
Well, yeah, it used to be like before you invested in a company that you believed in and you stuck with that company.
You held a piece of paper.
And dump. Now it's just like
you fucking bought that sugar stock and you got that $2 dividend.
Yeah, well, you built out your portfolio and stuff, you know. Now it's like everything is like, yeah. Dude, and then it was like, okay,
the market is run by AI traders now. The AI learns your investing habits and it will slowly take over if you choose it to, and it will buy and sell how it sees you would do it, but 100 times faster. Because it used to be, it used to be like Dan said, like before the digital age, if you wanted to buy a stock in a company, you had to go buy that stock and have a piece of paper that you would keep either in a deposit box or a safe or whatever, and you owned a piece of that company, and then you could trade that to someone else. Now you own a digital stamp of that stock through your investing app of choice, and then you could just instantly ship that out as many times in a day as you want.
Well, it's not even just that, like companies, it's like trading in foreign currency. Because I was hearing something about like, because we had some hiccups in the stock market, recently, and people were saying that most of that was because like a bunch of like speculators bought the Japanese yen, like they put a bunch of money in the Japanese yen because like it got really, really low or whatever, and then they like upped the interest rates. They're like, oh fuck, I gotta get rid of all this shit, and then they try to sell it all off and whatever, and then they just fucking tanked everything. But like Zell said, I mean, we talked about in that hyper normalization, they talked about, it's like if everything's being run by AIs, it just takes that turn the line to like drop a little bit and trip that threshold, and then all the AIs start blah, 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 and then they cascading effect where everything
I still got Vietnamese dong.
There you go. They're doing great.
Still got it.
Yeah, you're like, I'm long in the dong.
I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, that's the podcast. Hey, listen, if you're an ATT fan, you got to be long in the dong.
Bury that in your backyard.
Oh, that's what I'll leave for my kids. Some dong in the backyard.
Unbury that. Oh, is it gonna be gold or silver? What is fucking Vietnamese?
Some fucking dong.
Just with a note that just says "long in the dong, boys." There you go.
Like, make your own money, bitch. Yeah, I mean,
they're gonna have to.
It's just like the more I look, the more mad I get. Like that's what I was saying with like the asset managers, like the housing. You go start looking that way, and then if you go to like the S&P 500, all the top companies, and you can look who the top shareholders are, and most of them say BlackRock, Vanguard, or State Street. And then you look at BlackRock. Who owns BlackRock? Vanguard and State Street. And who owns State Street? And so on. And they all own each other. And all these asset managers own most of the market, and they can dictate pretty much the entire thing. And when people say like shadow government and all these nefarious people, it's not even people. It's just the corporations that have gotten so big, and they've taken over everything. They can do whatever they want.
So they manage BlackRock, and then they manage like most like the mutual funds, and like they manage like most of the retirement plans,
multi-trillions of dollars of funds they manage, and they have now they're in the assets and single family houses, and like everything on the S&P is owned by.
It's like it's just everything's beholden to the shareholders. You're like, you have to make money. Line has to go up. So it's like no matter what. And if you're going to be like, that's one of those things when we talk about that what is it, the growth mind, whatever, that not growth mindset, it's different, but it's always like everything has to go up. It has to constantly go up. So
yeah,
especially in like businesses and stuff. So it's like you have to do what you have to do. Not necessarily that's good for the economy, but
you don't take a loss. No one ever takes a loss anymore except the consumer.
You're firing who you got to fire. You're making money.
The prices will go
short term gains outweigh the whatever. Like you need to have that second quarter
profits must continually go up.
Yeah. So
but it doesn't have to be that way though. Like
dude, the government in Canada is now charging a fucking bag tax. That's where we're at, Dan.
Dude,
we've had that. We get
the
5 cents for bags. Yeah, for bags. Like
5 cents?
Plastic bags.
Dan,
it's 5
we're
cents.
25 cents.
Oh,
25 cents.
Well, that's like 5 cents in American.
Yeah, I bought some bags today.
Listen,
for 50 cents.
if you want to stock right now, I'll give you a stock tip right now. Cargo shorts. All right. That's the best stock tip I give you. That's
what cargo shorts. Buy cargo shorts.
Whoever.
I do the
cheese. You got to bury cheese in your backyard. That's
cheese.
I brought in my gym bag the other day and felt like a criminal. Like everybody's looking at me because I'm just throwing the groceries in my gym bag.
I'm not paying the tax.
I'm not buying a bag.
I'm gonna make some fucking grocery pants.
I'm just to put them back in the cart. Like I'm just like put the cart. I got bags in the car. Just put them in the cart.
Right? So now we get to the worst part about a central bank that bankrupts its country is that the bank is supposed to represent the best interests of the people and the economy in the country, but when that bank has trillions of dollars in debt, every taxpayer is beholden to that debt. And that debt is owned by fucking who?
Nobody.
The banks. They're all members of the central bank. All the private banks are members of the central bank, and the central bank loans out money to everyone. They have all the money. So when the country is trillions of dollars in debt and they got to service the debt, meaning they have to pay interest on the debt.
Just to like distinguish between the two, like you guys, because I was trying to look at, I was like, the U.S. has the Federal Reserve. You guys have a central bank, like
the Bank of Canada,
thing? Or like Bank of Canada. Okay, and its oversight is by who? The government? Like they have to answer to.
It's an independent,
completely independent, no oversight whatsoever.
It's
like,
completely
nothing.
independent from the federal government.
Dan,
because the Federal Reserve is like
Dan,
its own entity, but like it is
like a year ago, the government was like, listen, the Canadians can't take anymore. Bank of Canada, please lower interest rates. And they're like,
our job
perfect.
is
We'll up it by 0.5.
They give it double birds. They give it double birds.
And you're like, whoa. You're like, the government is like requesting them to lower it. And they're like, and it's up another half.
No,
but they're like, let me see what I have in my pocket.
Isn't the Federal Reserve, though, Dan, not controlled by it's not a federal organization?
It's not a federal organization, but
why is it called the Federal Reserve?
Because it is. The U.S. Congress does have oversight, though.
Sure,
like it does. Like it is beholden to them. Like
well, the oversight. So in the same situation in Canada, yes, the government can say we need to spend this much money, therefore we need to lend it. We're going to sell the government bonds to the Bank of Canada for X amount of billions of dollars. But the Bank of Canada can do whatever it wants with interest rate because its job is to keep inflation in check.
Sure.
But if the government says like we need this money for COVID or whatever, we need trillions of dollars, they can get that money. The government. The Bank of Canada doesn't say, no, you can't have the money. They want to give the money out because that's the job.
Well, yeah, that's what it's there for.
But
I mean, in the United
They
States, that's what we did. Like, yeah,
so
we did
the
in
same.
2008.
They're the same. They're not, the government doesn't set the interest rate. The government does do all that. It's the central bank, which is an independent organization, which is its shareholders, the private banks of the country. They're all in financial cahoots, man. All of them. That's just how it is. That's how it's grown. That's how it's become. Like, and it's the system we live in, and we all have to. If you don't know how to play the game and invest right, you just get left behind. And so many people work their entire life, work so hard, and this is the next point. This is a thing that no one really see, or people see, but no one really knows about. The general people is that all these like pension funds, right? And you have an aging population. That in order for that pension fund to stay topped up and be able to pull money out for the pensioners who have worked their whole life paying money in, you need X amount of people paying into the fund while you retire or the funds become depleted. And most pension funds are heading that way. So there needs to be some huge new program or something to inject money into those pension funds. But instead, we print money and we give it to countries that mainly the U.S. and its allies go in and bomb and rebuild. And for rebuilding efforts, we give hundreds of billions of dollars to whoever over there. How much that actually goes to good is impossible to tell, right? But that money could be, you could stock up your pension funds. You could rebuild your bridges. You could do all this stuff. But it just seems, it's hard not to look at this problem and be like, there's no way this is not a worldwide coordinated financial conspiracy between all central banks. How is it not?
Well,
it's crazy.
Listen, 6 guys started this in a meeting pretending to be an elk hunt, and you have central banks all over the world. You can't tell me that these guys all running these central banks aren't having a meeting every once in a while doing the same thing these 6 guys, did 80 years ago, right? Been like, could we make a system that benefits us even more?
But there was in Europe, there's been central banks for fucking
they've risen and fallen in
decades prior to the Americans, right? Like how long has England had central banks where there's but the governments run their banks though, right?
I'm pretty
their banks are completely controlled by their governments.
I don't know that that's the case.
Like they have full government oversight. I'm pretty sure.
For some reason, I think no. I feel like the central bank, the same system is in place in all the Western world. But I don't know. I actually don't know about Europe. That's a whole other thing. But the central bank is one thing with a currency that has stability and is backed at least by something. When the currency goes fiat and the spending is uncontrolled and you can just lend out legit tens of trillions of dollars and go tens of trillions of dollars into debt. And that money just sits there and then there is debt servicing. The government has to pay interest to the central bank. That's how the banking works. That's how everything is kept in check. And there's like a price to pay. If you borrow that money, you have to pay back the interest or because that's how they keep inflation in check. If you could just borrow unlimited money with no inflation, like no interest penalty, then you just devalue your dollar instantly. So there has to be a balance. So that's why they try and keep around 2 or 3% every year, right? That's the target. And if at that target, and if everything keeps up at 2 or 3%, which there has been decades over the last 100 years where it has, and like the quality of life is good, everyone can afford a house, blah, blah, blah. And then it dips and it goes back up and it dips a bit. But the last like 10 years, since 08, it has not. Everything is diverging.
It's been out of whack.
It's out of control. And there's all the numbers, all the charts, everyone talks about it. All the smartest people in finance are like, I don't know where there's going to be pain, however this ends. Hopefully it's minimal pain and we can kind of correct course somehow and develop some new systems and some new checks and balances to stop governments from just fucking bankrupting everyone. But there's going to be pain. Like everyone fucking knows it. You just feel it too. Like when you go to the store and you see a $23 of a small block of cheddar. All right. It's not even like a big Costco fucking brick that's going to last you 2 months.
It's just your average block.
It's an average block of cheddar.
I have not seen.
It's a great time to be
cheese over
lactose
here,
intolerant.
over
So
$6
that's why I
or
shop
so.
at
That's
Costco, because you can
No, it's not, because lactose-free cheese is even worse.
it's more expensive.
No, you just avoid it. Just done. But the UK government owns the Bank of England.
So is that, but also, and then if you go that way, is that good? Because now now they're the same. So like, is that a bank for the people? Maybe that's better. I have no idea.
I bet you their cheese is cheaper.
But I bet you could just quickly just search debt of England. Debt of England. Debt. Oh, I put dent. No, that's weird. Debt of England is last year was 122 billion in debt. 2.7 trillion in debt right now.
Over a year?
This is what they have. They have $2.7 trillion owing in debt that they have to service the debt penalty on every year. Canada national debt. I like this. I go to this sometimes and I just get really mad. It's the debt clock, where you just watch the debt continues to go up. We're at $1.2 trillion. And USA national debt. Oh, here we go. $35.12 trillion.
Yeah, number one, baby. What's up?
So per capita,
USA.
Per capita, I guess, if you wanted to stay the same debt ratio as Canada, national debt, you should be around 12 trillion. So you're well out of whack here.
And we just say,
trillion.
hey, debtors, come get your money. Oh, wait, we got like 6 aircraft carriers. Nah.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Yeah, charge what you want, collect what you can, motherfucker.
We say the same shit.
Come and get it. Come and
We
get
got a
it.
submarine in West End Mall, boys.
Yeah.
Don't worry about us. You don't want to fuck around.
Yeah. So I mean,
as we've been talking, just went
We're
from
an extra trillion in debt.
national debt.
from the time Zell said
Cheese has
debt-
gone up
debt
$4.
clock, from the time he said debt clock, we've gone up $40 million in debt.
It's insane, dude.
And it literally
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
30
This is
each
so depressing.
my share, all of our share of the debt,
Fuck.
Dan, obviously you don't know this, $31,229 of debt we all owe.
Pre-pandemic, that was $10,000. So everyone in the country was $10,000 in debt from the government spending. Now we're 31,000. So in just 4 years, dude. The current government in Canada has spent more money than all governments in Canada combined in the previous history. Like in all of history, this government has spent more money than all the other ones combined. Isn't that insane? And what do we got to show for? We got $18 fucking watermelons and $23 bricks of cheese. It's insane in Canada, dude.
It is. It's ridiculous. I feel like we're at a breaking point. Like
Growth of debt per day is $109 million. What?
Like, how does that make even sense?
Where does the money go?
To who?
Where does the money go? Like
To the aliens.
I want to get to the bottom. I want to. If there's one guest now that I want to find, I want someone who knows everything about this inside and out, and he'll answer any question. That's
What are you
why.
talking-
You
the
need like
last guy
4
we had
different
and told
people.
us money wasn't real.
Yeah, and he was right.
So
He was right.
He
in
was
a way.
right.
Yeah, we figured it out.
Hey, you know what?
No recourse.
His infinite money glitch is what the central bank uses and the governments use every day.
In real life.
In real time.
No. That's just lying on your tax forms. That's what he does.
These guys are lying to your face, saying they're spending this money for whatever and nothing gets done.
The reason I know things are bad right now, and we talked about it pre-show, the reason I know things are bad is that
$22 cheese.
Yes, $22 cheese. But Andrew and I both got a notice from the Canadian government that said, hey, listen, this is what you paid in taxes last year, and this is what we think you're going to pay in taxes this year. So we want you to pay early an installment of your taxes. And both of us went, well,
fuck you.
Fuck you. That's a interest-free loan.
I'm not giving you a loan.
Yeah, that's a loan. We don't know what we make. So until we know what we make, why would we pay taxes at the year end? I paid my taxes in full before they were due. I got a letter from the Canadian government, Revenue Canada, that said, hey, thank you for paying your taxes in full. Just so you know, we predicted that you were going to pay close to this, and we asked you to pay an installment. And because you didn't, we're charging you an additional $200. And I was like, what? So because I paid my taxes in full on time, but because they were like, well, we wanted that money earlier, they charged me an additional $200. That's insane. I was like, this is insane. This is the most craziest thing I've ever seen. I had to. What else am I going to do?
Same. I paid $166.78.
So that happened to we have a corporation, Big Theory, that they make you pay. They actually forcibly make you pay in installments.
Shut it down.
They make you pay in installments, quarterly installments, based on what you made the year before. And if you don't,
it's ridiculous.
You actually, if you don't pay and you invested that money, you would make more than they charge you in the fine. So that's something to think. So you just do that. But it's just, so for them to get $200 out of you, some accountant has to go through that. The computer pings him. He has to go in. He has to do the quick calculations. That's $150 an hour. They're probably losing money on getting that $200. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's crazy.
The labor to get that lettered to you and process and do all of that is probably worth less, or it's worth more than the $200 they're going to get back. So
how do we what do you think we go to? Like, what kind of system do you guys think we go to? All the Bitcoin bros are going to tell you the Bitcoin standard, right? Digital gold. That's the backing of currencies. National currencies will be held against Bitcoin. I don't know. I have no idea. But it looks, just as history repeats itself here, as our current fiat currency crumbles to the ground worldwide, they're going to have to be a new system, because we're in exponential debt here. In 10 more years, the debt of the states at the current rate will be like $100 trillion. Like,
hell yeah!
Like, how far can it go?
Number one, baby.
So, there has to be a new system, and a lot of people, there's going to be pain. There's going to be a reset of some kind. Like, I have no idea.
We could just go back to the gold standard because U.S. has #1 in gold medals. So, it's just a bump in our economy every time we go to the Olympics.
The gold standard.
You know what's funny about those gold medals today is they're only they're 1% gold. They have a tiny gold coating over like a fucking iron
silver.
I think it was I reading it? It was like, is it pennies or whatever? It's like takes more money. To, like, they're actually like worth more than they actually are, like, to produce.
Yeah, and they're not even copper anymore, and they still
Can't.
We just got rid of pennies up here. We said fuck the pennies.
We're just
even then, it's like I feel
it up. The second, you know what? We should have known there was a problem.
Grab one of the meteors. We'll grab one of the meteors it's made of gold, and we'll just pull it back here.
We should have known there was a huge financial problem the second the banks were like, "Hey, listen, we're just going to round up or round down." All right, no more pennies.
No more pennies.
We should have been that should have been a red flag. It'd been like, whoa, what? What do you mean?
So we're gonna round up, is what you're saying?
We always round up from 3 up.
Okay.
So we're always rounding up more often.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously don't know what the solution is. Humanity's always had some type of form of money, currency. So we'll come up with something. Hopefully, it's probably. That governments.
Super dong.
Governments.
Super dumb.
That governments want digital currency because they can track every dollar, especially if the currency's on some type of blockchain, like an XRP or some type of coin like that, where it's all. Then there's no cash.
Yeah, hey, listen.
They know exactly how much you made.
So
they know
poor
exactly how much tax you have to make, and they're gonna fucking just squeeze it out of you.
I don't know what blockchain is.
Yeah, but the thing is like that, if you move to a system like that, and I think I would almost be for that as long as everything's on the blockchain, including government spending. So it's like what they're spending is also accounted for and is a public ledger that everyone can see. Because right now there's too much of like, what the fuck is going on?
We did 90 billion in foreign aid. To who? Well, someone here, like, well, who got it? Well, we don't really know, because once it gets to that country, they divvy it up and do whatever the fuck they want with it. You have no idea.
No, should be nice. Sometimes
Like
we
some
like
sort of
allocate this
public
money
ledger.
like the year. Well, it's like we allocate this money every year to like foreign aid, which is like, we don't know exactly what we're going to spend it on, but we say, okay, this much money is set aside for foreign aid. And then we send that money over and you're like, well, where'd it go? Like, what did you guys do?
To a proxy war.
That's the conspiracy. Whatever. You fucking give billions of dollars. Zelensky takes a piece. All his ministers take a piece, or whoever takes a piece. They buy houses, all this stuff, all these assets. The dollar crashes. They have assets which are going to be worth whatever the new currency is. You sell them again, and you're already rich. That's what I mean.
Well, most of the money we send to them is actually equipment. Like, it's like actual.
I also heard that a lot of the money actually just comes back to the States. They send it over there, and then contractors just end up getting that money here, because then they
pretty much.
So it's really.
It's the infinite money loop.
It's the money loop, dude. Yeah, 100%.
Dude, Brandon Williams was right.
He's a genius, man.
Let's get him back on.
He's like, listen, I'm just doing to the banks what the banks do to us. No recourse, bro.
I'm not a U.S. citizen or whatever. Yeah. Let's put that on your fucking taxes.
Like because we're kind of right now, we're in like a slightly hybrid model where it's like kind of there's decentralized finance, like crypto and stuff. Regulations are few and far between.
Loose.
They're trying to do exchanges, but then you have banking fraud or whatever, fucking frauding people out of billions. Like it just.
I love that. That fucking guy. I love that. It's funding both sides, funding everyone, wild and loose. Like I'm like, how did they not know? How did anyone not know Sam Friedman was fucking just pulling the wool over everyone? That's insane.
But honestly, the system we have, like the kind of hybrid system we have now, like there is still cash and there's digital. It works great for the most part, right? If you go to buy stuff, you can buy stuff instantly. You can do this. You can buy it all on credit card. It's insured. Like there's lots of good stuff that we do currently. The problem is at the very root of money, there's no real value, and they can just do whatever they want. They can just fucking print unlimited money.
I guess you could go to full reserve banking, but like that'd be.
Well, I mean, there's just so many people in the world that like you can't. No one can have. There's not that much gold. Like you couldn't have gold. You couldn't have all that. It's impossible, right? So I don't know. I have no clue what the solution is. It's some type of hybrid model, but there's going to be pain. You feel it. The pain's already here. Like as far,
it's gonna get worse.
Or just stop buying cheese.
As far as like I can only speak for Canada because that's all I really know. It's gotten horribly bad over 5 years.
Really tough.
Is it just expensive in your area, or is it like in a major
everywhere.
city?
No,
Like everywhere the
it's
cheese is expensive? Or
I would say the cheese here is probably far from the most expensive.
Like Vancouver and Toronto, like places like that, you're going to even see even more.
Is their cheese more expensive?
Dude, we just have we have so many problems. I could go all day talking about it. We have problems with building houses. For like 2 generations, we told kids, go to college, don't fucking work with your hands. If you work with your hands, you're a dummy. Don't build houses, don't be an electrician, don't be a plumber. Go get a fucking arts degree and do whatever, something dumb. If you work with your hands, something dumb. But that's what I mean. They tell you to go to college.
It is true.
They tell you to go to college, but they don't really tell you what. They're like, you should go to college and then figure out what you want to do from there. It's like, what do you like to do? I like building stuff. Be a builder. Don't go to college. Go to building school. Boom. Next thing you know, but they never did for years. They took they took all that stuff away. So right now we're in the void of a huge labor shortage, where for every person, every 10 people retiring, there's like 3 coming in. So there's just like so many problems, like more than just finance. It's just like
But I mean, the other issue is that we're having, and I think this is across like most Western world, just straight up population collapse. Like we're just
no one's having kids.
No one's having kids anymore because it's too goddamn. Yeah, it's too expensive, so no one's having them. We're not having as many, And we're in this weird cycle of like, well, I can't afford to have more kids. I'd love to have 30 kids. That sounds like fun. Like my fucking great grandpa. That sounds like a really good time. You're like, no, I can't do it now. So it's like, we're in this weird where it's like our parents' generation and our grandparents are fucking starting to kind of go over that fucking the hill here. And we're going to see like a population collapse.
Well, that's why why our immigration's out of control, because they're like, we're losing everyone. In the next 15, 20 years, we're going to lose so many people and no one's here to take the place.
Yeah.
But they also...
But why are we making medicine so good then?
85 is the limit. All right. Sorry. Good.
And then you get in the fucking little suicide,
Are we making medicine so good?
I have no idea.
You guys need to start buying adult diapers.
We got vaccines out here.
Oh, don't say
Why would you come on?
You still got time to edit it.
Hey, we just...
No, this is live.
2 weeks away.
This is live.
We're 2 weeks away from our fucking band.
Our band is almost over and now it's back,
damn.
motherfucker.
Ah, you fucking dickhead.
Hey, Braden, you brought it on yourself. You shouldn't have said that.
What did I say?
Making medicine so good.
Yeah.
We're making medicine. We're making medicine. We're making medicine.
Listen.
Not great.
Listen. Someone said to me the other day, the guy I work with, he's like, you know what? I'm going to move overseas. I'm going to live there 6 months and live here 6 months. When I was retired, I was like, why would you live here 6 months? He's like, well, for the medical. I said, just fucking buy it over there, dude. It's way cheaper. It's way better.
We don't even make our medicine here.
I was like, it's insane. And he goes, yeah, but the care is better here. I said, no, it's not. I was like, when's the last time you had when's the last time you went to the hospital, had a Canadian doctor? And he's like, oh, that's right. He's like, never. I was like, I'm just saying, like, it's not, I'm not.
No, doctors, I mean, let's not shit on
They're
Canada.
South African, they're Pakistani, they're East Indian. There's no, like, they're from other countries. We're bringing them in. We have no one to take the places. We've made it too hard for Canadians.
Healthcare here is still pretty good. It just could be way better.
It's not. Listen, you're disillusioned. It's not good.
I've been to urgent care. I've been to the hospital. I wait for
some stitches.
I wait for 20 minutes. That's what I mean. For regular stuff, it's fine.
But what do you need a knee replacement, a hip replacement? You're waiting a bit. You need cancer treatment. You need chemo.
Whoa.
You need an MRI.
Yeah. Ooh.
You're waiting a bit.
Go to Puerto Vallarta and pay for it.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm fucking poor.
Turkey. Listen,
bro. If cheese is fucking $40.
Stop buying cheese. Stop buying cheese.
Stop eating.
I don't.
No. Stop. Yeah. What? I don't.
Listen. If I could have roommates, Dan, I would. Trust me.
Just don't.
I wish.
I just watched 30 people come into your house. Who are all those people?
Those are the people so I can live.
So you can buy cheese.
He's got a fucking hostel in his basement right now. He's charging everyone $40 a night to stay there.
You're going to have to cut this.
This is hilarious. All right. You know
what are they? I was selling marketplace lamps or something here in the garage. No big deal. Hey there, big lady.
Fuck, dude. Do you want to grab the door for you?
You're not watching the live stream. Andrew's, I don't know what's going on here. He's got he's schlepping stuff out of his garage right now.
Yeah.
I seen a lamp go out. What just went out there?
Yeah.
A fucking ottoman?
Yeah.
Oh, what's that? What's that?
Holy, everything is dude, are you in foreclosure?
Are you selling all your shit?
Is this big banks?
They're taking your Airdyne bike. They're wheeling it out. No. What you gonna get next? She looks sweaty as fuck, man.
I gotta be able to buy cheese, boys.
Hey,
she looks so sweaty.
Yeah, why is that big lady so? She just came in for the first time. Why is she so? What's up with her?
Anyways,
Andrew, tell us. No. Tell us what's up with that. What's up with that big lady? Who's she? Why she looks so grumpy and so sweaty? Tell us out
loud. We're witnessing the collapse of the Canadian economy as we speak. And Andrew's first happening. Andrew.
Absolutely.
He's got to sell half his shit just to stay alive.
It's gonna get worse, so shut it.
Are they doing more?
Oh yeah, she's moving out.
Are you serious? This is awesome. This is gonna be great after hours.
Right now?
That's awesome. This is gonna be great after hours. This is
She's just like,
Well, I can't do it. I gotta work in the
okay. Well,
morning.
just
so I'm not
leave,
doing
but
it.
leave your webcam open. Like, don't.
yeah.
You can
Yeah.
I'll never remember to shut it
Yeah,
off.
just fucking leave it. Don't. Yeah.
Did you close? Is the show
No, it's
over?
not.
No. We're still going.
Okay, end it. For the love of God.
Hey, listen,
That was
big
fun.
banks. Listen, things are hard for everyone out there. Fucking, listen, all
cheese,
you can
bury
do
it in
is
your
keep your chin
backyard.
up and just get ready, because when the revolution comes, just you want to head into the bank and steal as much cash as
Steal
you
all
can,
the
because you're gonna need it all to
You
buy
don't
bread.
need wheelbarrows
Cash is
full of
weird.
cash to pay for a
Cash
loaf of
is
bread. Anyways, that was fun. Lots to talk about. Do your own research, obviously. No financial advice here. Don't go fucking selling everything like Andrew's doing.
Don't bury cheese in your backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Doesn't keep well.
it'll go back. Just gold.
good.
And
Just gold.
Precious
Just bury
metals.
Just gold and adult diapers, maybe. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh wait, quick announcement on Patreon. I got to announce it. Apple's coming for you. Apple and big banks are coming for you. So if you're subscribed to Patreon currently, you're
I
fine.
was wondering if I could still vacuum at this
But if you're going to subscribe to Patreon and you use an iOS device, starting in November, 30% of that cut. 30%. So
Wait,
your
so
boy,
can I switch to Android? Just switch to Android.
so far the Android store is still good, or you can use Supercast and we get the same cut. So either pretty much we got to charge 30% more, or we take a 30% hit. We don't know what to do here, so just a heads up. This week's newest supporters, they got in before the deadline though, so they're good.
Woo.
If they're on iOS, we got
Made it.
Rebecca
Yes, made
Lee, Leah, Kyle Lane, and Savannah Colette. Thank you very much for supporting the show. We appreciate it.
Listen, you want to know how times are tough? The Apple's coming off their fucking donations.
Coming for your Patreon.
30% of donations from that creators get.
You
That's how you know
already
things are
Patreon takes
things are bad.
Patreon takes 5%, just a little piece, which is whatever. You need to pay for it. Then there's a
understandable.
PayPal service fee, sure. So they're taking whatever 70 cents combined, and now they're taking another 30. God damn, they're taking all our money.
Yeah, things are
Things are tough. Everyone's
Things
fucking
are-
tough. We're all in it together.
yeah,
downturn.
we're all
Apple coming over here.
We're all in it together. $1 trillion in cash. We have $1 trillion.
We have to build another UFO. We're campus. We fucking made a stupid VR helmet. Nobody wants it.
No one can pay $4,000 for our VR helmet.
All right.
Yeah. And as we always say at the end of these things, keep those eyes on the cheese prices.
See you in after hours.